Our stories, our voice, our history hasn't always been welcomed. But we learned long ago that if America won't celebrate us, then we will celebrate our own, told our way, on our time. Today we have thousands of Black creators in film. Thousands of books are on the shelves of stores around the world. But it wasn't always as easy. For Lena, for Hattie, for James, for Zora, for Langston, we fought for a place in American history, and we've empowered our own voices, keeping our stories alive. Remember Philando, remember Mike, remember Trayvon, remember Sandra, remember Oscar, remember Brianna. No more will Black voices go unheard. No more will Black stories go unread. We will write our own history and create our own legacies. And each summer in Atlanta, we will gather. We will celebrate. We speak out. Black voices matter. Black stories matter. Black lives matter. Everybody has a story to tell. Make sure that you tell yours. Create your story. Dream out loud. It all starts with a spark. Like this thought or this vision in your head that gives you these ideas and these visions of who you want to be. And I can remember myself sitting in my room, writing in my journal about stories and characters of people I had no idea who they were. And I just knew that that's who I was going to be. I was going to write books. I was going to move to Atlanta, and I was going to become this big-time authoress. And I did that. I got the awards. I got the bestsellers list. I met some phenomenal people, and I've helped other people dream out loud. I think that when it comes down to dreaming, it's more than about just getting it done. It's about having fun and enjoying life while you do it. So y'all dream out loud with me.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back for another annual weekend of Black Writers Weekend. We are so excited to have you here. This is our first year doing both virtual and in person. So we are super, super excited to have you here. But more importantly, I'm really, really excited to introduce you to our guest today. Our guest is an award-winning entrepreneur, international business expert, world traveler, and a global, she's moving the world forward. And that's how excited I am to really get the chance to introduce you guys to her. I want to introduce you to Tonya McNeal.
Hi, hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am doing good, but I'm really excited that you're here. I'm excited about everything that you're doing, specifically for women entrepreneurs. You know, I love to be able to hear stories of women who have pioneered before me and overcame some of the obstacles, similar to obstacles that I face, have been placed with their backs behind the wall and still overcame. And you are pioneering by telling their stories. So I am so excited to have you here today. I'm super, super thrilled.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited as well. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. So before we dive into your book, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself? You know, you have accomplished some amazing things over the years. Why don't we start with that?
Yeah, sure. So I'm originally from Chicago, born and raised. I've been living in Detroit now for about 20 years. So I'm officially a Detroiter. I'm a Detroit girl now, but I like to represent my hometown, Chicago. And I am an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for about 20 years. I've been through all of the ups and downs and the challenges that we as entrepreneurs go through. And it took some time, but I finally found my space and my passion. And so what I'm doing now, I'm the founder and managing director of IBS Global Consulting. It's a global management consulting company that really specializes in helping companies expand their reach and take their products and services to new markets around the world. And I love that. I'm also the founder and executive director of the Michigan Association for Female Entrepreneurs. It's also my passion to empower other women entrepreneurs like myself, aspiring entrepreneurs, future generation of entrepreneurs. I founded a program a few years back, the Future CEO Leaders. That speaks to my passion about empowering the future generation of young girls and young female entrepreneurs. So I'm doing a lot, and I'm excited about it all and happy to be here.
Yes, yes. I'm excited about everything that you're doing. You spoke a lot on your passion for helping women, entrepreneurs, helping young girls, helping just really any woman in this space trying to move forward with running her own business and being successful at it. Where did this passion come from? How was this developed?
Yeah, actually, it's a really unique story, one that I share in my book as well. But in the beginning, really, I didn't know. I thought it was really all about me, and I like to be very honest and be very transparent, because a lot of times we get into business and we think it's about us, and we think that what we're doing is about us. And then what I learned over the years, just by hearing from other women and how I impacted them and how I helped to move them forward and how I gave them maybe a great idea that now they're able to live out their dreams, is when I really realized it wasn't about me. It was all about those lives and the people around me who I was adding value to and who I was able to impact. And that's when I knew I was living in my passion. And this is what I was called to do.
Awesome. That is phenomenal. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. A lot of people in general, but specifically new business owners, go into it thinking, it's about them. But when you're able to see the impact like you have, to see how you're affecting people, that's when you know you're doing a tremendous job. So I'm so happy for you. Tell me a little bit more about your book. So you said that you mentioned in your book, how your passion got started. What else does your book talk about?
Yeah, so just to give you a little context about the book. So I'm a female in a male-dominated industry. I'm traveling to countries all over the globe doing international business. But one thing I noticed is that there were not a lot of women in that space. And I was just really tired of being the only woman in the room and the only woman doing international business. And I said, there has to be more women doing business globally. And why am I not finding these women? Where are they? And so about 4 years ago, prior to the pandemic, what I started doing, because again, I got tired of being the only woman in the room, I started taking women with me around the world to countries across the globe to help expose them to international business. And through that process and through this journey, I have met some phenomenal women entrepreneurs who were also doing business globally. And so I thought it would just be very unique and inspiring to share these stories to help inspire other women to take their dreams and their businesses global as well. So that's really where the idea for the book came about, because there's not a lot of women and still not a lot of us in this space. But I thought it would be important to share those stories so that we can empower and inspire more women to take that leap of faith and go out, and pursue their passion, not just locally in their hometowns, not just across various states, but across borders and across the globe. So that's what the book is about, Women Going Global. It shares real life stories and the journeys of diverse women from 13 different countries all around the world, the ups, the downs, and everything in between. So that's just a little bit what the book is about.
Awesome. I absolutely love that. I love it. Tell me about these women. Where did you meet them? How did you find them? And what stories do they have inside of them? Because I read the reviews on your book, and when I tell you, they were stellar. Obviously, the book's a page turner. I'm looking forward to purchasing my copy and reading it. Like, the reviews themselves had me on the edge of my seat. So I can't wait for the book. But I really want to know, where did you find these women? Are these the same women that you were taking with you overseas, or how did this come about?
Yeah, so it was a mix. So some of these women I had known through my journey as a global entrepreneur that I had met maybe at a conference. And some of these women I didn't know at all. I connected through social media, and I want to express the power of social media. I have met people from countries all around the world right here from my home office. I didn't have to take a plane to meet with them. So some of these women I did not know prior, but we have a really strong bond and tight relationship just through this journey and writing this book and sharing their stories. So we have women from Romania, from Hong Kong, from Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, from the United Kingdom, Pakistan, India, Montserrat. I'm trying to remember all of the Nigeria, Sri Lanka. So all of these women from countries all around the world, very diverse women with various different backgrounds. But what's really unique about these stories, regardless of how far apart our worlds are, regardless of the difference in the culture or the language, we all share similar challenges as being women. That the borders does not separate the challenges that we face. And so it's really unique. And that's what really brought us so close together and sharing this journey together, and some of the ups and downs and the setbacks that we all experience. And they're all so similar. And I'm sure that readers will find that some of the things that they're going through as entrepreneurs, they'll read about some of these stories in the book, and they'll see how these women overcame. And I'm hoping to inspire them that they too can overcome any challenge that's set before them if they just believe, if they stick to it, work hard. And so a lot of good things is shared in this book. And I do want to share just some of the quotes, because we have some beautiful quotes in the book. If I could share just maybe one or two of them.
We are here for. We are loving this. As you can see the comments, we are absolutely loving what you have done by bringing these women together to share journeys that, frankly, entrepreneurs like myself, and I know so many other entrepreneurs out there, would have never had the chance to learn. So yes. Please pretend like I'm not here. I want to hear what you and these wonderful ladies have had to say.
Yes. And so here's one of I have so many favorite quotes from the book. It's so much inspiration, by the way. So even if you're not even thinking about taking your business global, which I hope you will after reading the book, but even if you're not considering it, you haven't never thought about it, this book is not just about going global. It's about overcoming challenges. It's about being resilient, and it's about female empowerment. So regardless of where you are in your business, what stage you're at, you're going to find some inspiration and motivation, and you're going to connect to one or more, if not all of these women in the book. So one of my quotes here, it says, "Wherever you are on your path and wherever it takes you is divinely setting you up for your next opportunity." And that is from Dr. Anita Davis Defoe. And what she's really saying there is that sometimes we're on a path and we can get veered away from that path. We can get set on another path and we can look at that as a setback. But what she's saying is that is divinely setting you up for your next opportunity. So don't worry about the different roads that you might have to take. Your GPS is going to reroute you, is going to put you on a path that is totally divine for you. And what is for you will be there for you. And so I really love that quote by Dr. Anita Davis Defoe, who's also, she shares her story in the book as well.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. I'm waiting for more. I'm
yes.
So like
and I have another wonderful quote. And Dr. Anita, she's from the U.S., but she travels around the world. She's lived in the U.S. Virgin Islands. I think she may be there now. Who knows where she is in the world? But Ruth also shares a beautiful quote, and Ruth is from Cameroon, and she shares her journey in doing business across the African region, empowering women all across Africa. Beautiful story, the challenges that she had to overcome growing up in the background that she came from, coming from, a poorer family and making her way. And she's a highly successful business owner, entrepreneur, running her own marketing firm across various countries in Africa. And her quote says, Everyone has a purpose. Discover what your purpose is and live in that purpose. So I really, really love that quote as well. So as you can see, a lot of great inspiration in this book. So I really do hope that everyone go out. You can go to Amazon and purchase a copy of the book, Women Going Global, real life stories of women entrepreneurs doing business across borders. I share my journey and how I got into this space and the challenges that I had to overcome. And I just want everyone to know that they can do it. It does not matter. A lot of times we think, oh no, I can never go global. My business is too small. It's just me. I don't have a big team, or I don't have an office. Let me tell you, I took my consulting firm global. I'm working in 4 continents across the globe. I'm meeting and working with hundreds of businesses all around the world. And a lot of my work, although I traveled a lot before COVID, a lot of my work is done right here at home from my home office, where I'm speaking to you from right now. I actually started my business as a home-based business. So I built a global consulting firm right from the basement of my house, and I took that business global, and now I'm in countries all around the world. So it doesn't matter how small you are, what type of space, you can work from your kitchen table and you can go global. Technology and the internet has opened up so many doors for so many opportunities, and they should not be missed out on.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. You are giving so much inspiration today, so much motivation, and really pointing women in a direction that maybe it had not considered, maybe they hadn't considered going. There are lots of small business owners out there who the thought of going global doesn't even cross their mind. And yet here you are empowering women by saying, it's time that you guys do something that you never even thought was possible. It's time that you guys do something that you hadn't even put on your dream board, something you did when you were building your vision board. Global wasn't even up there, because it's such an idea that's so far out of so many people's minds, especially the smaller their business. So I do want to know, you said you started going global from, your home office. What exactly inspired you to do that? Was it an accident? Were you just given an opportunity to take it? Yeah, good. I want to hear.
It was an accident. It was so I got into this business by accident. This is not something I set up and I dreamed about and said, oh, I'm going to be a global entrepreneur and I'm going to travel across the world, right? So my first company, again, I've been an entrepreneur for years. My first company, when I moved to Detroit, I started an independent insurance agency, and it was doing really, really well. And 2008, 2009, when we went through the financial crisis, I had to pivot. I had to do something different because my business had suffered tremendously, and I had to pivot. And so I went back to school for my MBA, started out in finance, which is a whole nother story because I'm not a numbers type of a girl. So why I was in finance, I have no idea, right? But again, it was that path I was on, and I got detoured, but it led me in the right direction. That GPS will reroute you where you're supposed to be. And so an opportunity came up for a study abroad program to China. And it was for the international business students. And I was in finance, but I was just something about it. I was just intrigued. And I was like, I would like to go. And they said, well, you can still go as a finance major. You can take the course as your elective. And the course included a 2-week study abroad to China. And that just really opened my eyes to a whole nother world that I had never knew existed. And that is where the journey and the passion for international business all started. I was already transitioning out of my insurance business, and I had moved my office back home because, I had to downsize. We was going through some challenges. And so that is how I ended up starting the consulting firm from my house, because I had already transitioned, moved my office home. And so I was literally working from my basement when I first started the consulting firm. And I just had to really get over the fear. And I think for a lot of us as entrepreneurs, it's the fear of the unknown. And we have to let go of those fears. It's okay to be fearful. I'm not saying, not to be scared, and it's not letting the fear stop you is what's really important, because we're going to be scared. We're going to have fears. That is all natural. Just don't let the fear stop you. I had never traveled overseas other than going to Canada or maybe going to Cancun or something like that. But when you talk about a 15-hour flight nonstop to China, I was scared to death. I was so fearful. I had never been on a plane that long. I didn't know what to expect. Oh my God, I don't speak the language and all of these things, but I did not let that stop me. And it broadened my horizons. It opened up a whole nother world and journey for me that right now I'm just so happy. And I want to go to the next quote, because it's all about being able to pivot in times of a crisis. And that's exactly what I did. And that is why I'm sitting where I'm sitting today. So another one of my favorite quotes: in times of crisis, entrepreneurs must be willing to pivot and reinvent themselves. And that's from the lovely Valerie Grant, who shares her journey and her story in the book as well. She's from Jamaica, and she has a tremendous story that she shared and her journey and the challenges that she had to overcome as a woman in business. So again, go out to Amazon, get the book, Women Going Global. I'm so excited. And I know it will touch you, inspire you, and empower you to move your business forward in whatever path or direction that is for you.
I love it. I love it. I was actually, my last question to you was going to be, why should women go out and get this book? And I feel like you have laid that out during this entire conversation. Like, you have let us know everything we're going to get out of that book. And that excites me so much. So the last thing I will ask you, where can people find you? When we want to connect with you, how can we connect?
Yeah, this is the book. So you can actually go right to Amazon, Women Going Global. You can see the cover also in the background, but this is the cover here, Women Going Global on Amazon. You can also go to my website, which is womengoingglobalbook.com. So really easy, www.womengoingglobalbook.com. I am on all social media platforms, so you can connect with me. Just type in my name. You'll see all the global flags is my backdrop on all of my social media profiles. So just type in my name. I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram. So you can connect with me. You can go to the website, womengoingglobalbook.com. And it's all about a movement. So I've started a movement for Women Going Global. We, because of the pandemic, I have not been able to lead women on the delegations, but starting in 2022, they will be starting back up again. So if you are interested in exploring global markets and finding out all of the various different business opportunities, I welcome you to join me on a delegation next year, and we will travel across the world and we will spread this movement and touch women globally.
Yes, I love it. That is so, so, so awesome. I highly encourage everyone to go to the website, get this book, read this book, and find out all the amazing things that we can do to take our businesses to new levels, and not even just our businesses, but when we can hear stories of other women who look like us and who have made it places that we want to go, it is inspiring, and it helps us develop in our personal life just as much as our professional life. So Tonya, thank you so much for putting this book together. Thank you so much for joining us today and telling us more about the book and telling us about the phenomenal women that helped you to write the book, and for telling us about all the things that, what brought you into this and what's brought you here to this point. I really, really appreciate the work you put in to help women get further in business. And I know that we all appreciate it. So yes, everyone out there, definitely go to the website, check out this book, and see what heights it's going to take you to in your own business.
Thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure.
You are so very welcome. And I hope that everyone enjoys the rest of their weekend. Make sure you check out all the events going on this weekend, whether you're virtual or in person. There are so many great things going on for Black Writers Weekend 2021. Be sure to check it all out.